Hey, we welcome you to Eagan High School. It's homecoming 2019. The Burnsville Blaze, and there they come. Your Eagan Wildcats coming up tonight live on ETV and Burnsville Community Television as well. And again, we welcome you inside Eagan High School, where it's homecoming 2019. As you look at the Eagan Wildcats wearing their blue, I'm Mike Cook, Nathan Cron alongside me. And Nathan, we were just saying right before we came on the air, something new this year. The Wildcats came out through the crowd.
They came out through the crowd to get this crowd excited, to make them, to get them into the game. It's going to be a big night here at homecoming Eagan Wildcat Country 2019. And we've got a lot of special events tonight, a lot of special things going on, Mike.
Well, let's start with our national anthem.
Please remain standing. The national anthem this evening will be performed by the Eagan High School Concert Choir under the direction of Mr. Jim Cox and Amy Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Please remain standing as the color guard takes the colors off the field.
Yeah. The last time I was here, I was watching one of you guys switch places and make sure. Yeah, I do it every year. There's one time I had to pull you back and stuff the guy from running here. I held my ground on that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Nathan, boy, talk about an introduction tonight. It is, as we said, it's homecoming 2019. Hollywood Pyrotechnics is in the house tonight, shooting off those fireworks. Glad to have them back with us here in Wildcat Country.
Oh, it's an explosive start to what hopefully should be an explosive game for the Eagan Wildcats. Obviously, Burnsville and Eagan both right now looking for their first win on the season, and hopefully there's going to be an opportunity here for these teams to be very competitive, score points on each other, and really give us a good show here tonight.
Hey, you see the Wildcats, they're going to be introduced there coming off the right. We're in the home blues. Burnsville, they're underneath the north goalpost just to the left off your television screen. Vince Varpness and the Blaze come in at 0-5, as you mentioned. But they've had a couple of tough. They played Farmington a week ago, lost 34-12, as the Tigers put up 27 in the second half to Poli on that one. And that was one where Burnsville actually scored first, and we had a quick lead. And then the week before that, they lost to Lakeville North 55-19. So Burnsville's been scoring a little bit, something the Cats are still working on. But I'll tell you what, these Cats are fired up for homecoming 2019.
Well, they're fired up, and the one thing that, Mike, that the Wildcats have done well this year at times certainly is play good defense. They've done a good job of keeping other teams honest, playing some good defense. The last handful of weeks, despite some of the lopsided scores, that really isn't on the defense necessarily in terms of how well they've played. So I like the matchup with respect to Burnsville scoring and moving the football, but Eagan able to counter with their defense.
Again, Wildcat defense being introduced there. And tell you what, we were just talking about it before the game. It feels like football weather out here tonight. Temperature's got to be in the upper 40s, a little bit of a breeze. It definitely feels like football as the calendar's turned to October.
Yes, it's definitely football weather here in the great state of Minnesota. It is definitely what you would call Friday night lights. It's the late season Friday night lights. And this situation that Eagan finds itself in, it's everything to play for, nothing to lose. Go out and have fun. Enjoy this opportunity to play in front of all these wonderful people, all these people here to support not only the team, but again, the community. The whole community is here, and that's, I had somebody ask me about, why do you do fireworks for a team that maybe isn't winning a lot of games? It's like, because it's not just about the team, it's about the whole community coming to one place on a Friday night, enjoying each other's comradeship and communion, and being part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, definitely the Friday night lights. We've mentioned it all throughout the year here at Eagan High School, and I know Burnsville has their traditions as well over at Burnsville High School, their version of Friday night lights. And the Blaze have 2 more home games coming up after this, and those games, by the way, I'm sure will be on Burnsville Community Television, Channel 14, who is partnering with us tonight at Eagan TV. So we've got kind of a mixed crew here, happy to bring you some South Suburban Conference action between neighborhood rivals. I think separated by, I counted 12 stoplights between Eagan High School and Burnsville High School. And I know the cross-country team ran the ball over earlier tonight. They were on the field before the game getting honored. So it's going to be an exciting night here in Wildcat country. But now to kick off for the Burnsville Blaze, going right to left. We're in the road whites, Cats in the blue. And Cats are going to field this one inside at about the 20. Small return up to, and it's still going strong up to about the 27-yard line, where the Wildcats will get things rolling. Coming up off the bottom of the pile was number 11, Isaac Olin, as you look at the Burnsville special teamers heading to their bench. So the Wildcats looking to get something going. Too many times this year we've seen where it's the offense has really kind of struggled, forced itself into 3rd and long, which suddenly turns into 4th down.
Yeah, it absolutely has. Now, that being said, the Burnsville defense is relatively small, but it's fast and aggressive, but it's relatively small. I think the Wildcats aren't going to get beat by sheer brute strength here, but they're going to have to hold on to that football and stick on those blocks.
I notice Charles O'Toole, probably the fastest Wildcat. He's lined up wide to the right for Ethan Gugino in this Wildcat offense. Gugino, he's going to look for O'Toole. They're going for it all right away, and O'Toole not quite getting there. Good coverage over there by Burnsville's number 32 from the secondary position was Nathan Lee. If you take a look at the play, trying to hit O'Toole right away and bust one early.
I like the aggressive play call. Unfortunately, that time O'Toole, and as you say, Mikey plays a lot of defensive back. That time didn't quite get his head around to where he needed to be. I think if he had gotten his head around a half second earlier, he would have been able to make an adjustment, make a better play on that ball.
So 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats, just underway here from Wildcat country. And handoff goes really nowhere. A whole host of Burnsville Blaze in on that stop. Williams, the ball carrier, 88 for Burnsville, making the stop was Isaiah Atkinson, among others. I think we could have mentioned any of about 4 players there for the Blaze.
Yeah, there's something wrong when your dive back is being hit by 4 guys. I mean, quite frankly, the offensive line has had its moments this year where they've been able to put things together, and they got to get some confidence. I think if they get some confidence and start running downhill on these guys, they can move them around a little bit and stick on these blocks. But they got to stick on it. 3rd
and 10 for the Cats, and it's going to be 4th and really long as well. That play went absolutely nowhere. Williams, the ball carrier again, in on the stop. Isaac Korolewski, among others, for the Burnsville Blaze. Keep an eye on number 7 here. and he'll get in there and kind of help out. Actually, it was 41 that wrestled him down initially. That's Hadari Lewis, junior, for the Blaze. Punt time for the Wildcats after 3 plays, netted them -1 yards.
Yeah, that time the offensive line just didn't get it done. The left guard scraped off and let Lewis slice his way in. That's just not going to be effective.
Olin gets it away. Burnsville's going to have an opportunity if the ball even gets to the 50. Actually, it's picked up at about the Wildcat 48. Minimal return there for the Burnsville Blaze by number 1, Landon Rocheleau. And Burnsville, outstanding starting position. And they're going to be inside the Eagan inside the 45. Looks like it's going to be spotted. Well, I think we have a penalty, though, on the play.
Yeah, there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field. It was well away from the punt. It was well away from everything. I'm kind of curious as to what it is. It looks like it might be against. Looks like they're motioning that it's against Burnsville.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing a false start signal, or is he looking at the Burnsville bench deciding what they want to do with it?
That's a good question. I think
we're going to know here in a moment.
I think if I'm Burnsville, I just decline that penalty and take the football.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're going to. Yeah, Egan's defense is moving out where the punt play ended. The Pit's starting to get the "Let's Go Defense" chant going. And I'll tell you, for Egan, they've had a lot of opportunity this year to chant "Let's Go Defense."
They absolutely have, and yeah, it's a penalty on. Yeah, okay,
on the Cats.
So yeah, now that we've got that straightened out, now we've got an opportunity to play a little bit of defense. Now the defensive side of the ball, Mike, as we pointed out earlier, is and has been the stronger of the two pieces of the team. The defense has been very aggressive. It has created some turnovers, and right now that's what they need to do. They need to get this ball back. They need to not let Burnsville get a first down here.
Jordan Tompkins, quarterback for the Burnsville Blaze. And from the Eagan 38, Burnsville's going to run it on first down. Not going to get very far. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage that time. Off number 28, the ball carrier, Lucas Volk, and we'll call his name a lot tonight. He, along with Gregerson, the other big back for the Burnsville Blaze. Colton Gregerson, number 19, just a sophomore for this Burnsville squad. And talking to their coach, Vince Vartmans, before the game, they have a lot of high hopes for this kid. Really like what they've seen. 2nd and 10 for the Blaze. First possession of the game for the visitors. Straight ahead, there's Gregerson, as we mentioned, and he's going to get good yardage there on 2nd down. Get down near the 30-yard line, going to set up 3rd and about 4 or 5 maybe for the Burnsville Blaze.
Well, interesting that the Eagan Wildcats in the last couple of games have seen what you would call it more traditional spread attacks. All right, here Burnsville's lining up in effectively an I formation with power or a wing to one side. And they're running right at the Wildcats. And the Wildcats' defense is much like the Burnsville defense. Not real big, but they're fast and they're aggressive. And when they are successful, they're attacking the line of scrimmage. They need to do that here.
And the Pit is jumping up and down as you see the camera shake, or see the picture shaking on your screen. Here's Volk this time. 2nd, 3rd effort. Is it going to be enough to move the sticks? Looks like he's going to be just short. I'm going to guess by about half a yard. O'Toole, Wallach, and others in there for Eagan. 40, Zach Merwin joined the club as well. 2 yards on that play, and it's going to bring up 4th and 1 for the Blaze.
Well, they definitely have to watch the ball on defense. Offensively here, they've had 2 great plays in a row, getting positive yardage, running between the tackles. Candidly, Mike, I'd have to expect them to either run between the tackles or quarterback sneak.
I'm thinking the sneak, and we were both going to be wrong because they did hand it off. 1st down, Burnsville. Sticks are going to move.
Yep.
Gregerson, the ball carrier, is going to get down close to the 25-yard line, and more importantly for the Blaze, the sticks are going to move.
Well, if the Blaze stick with what they're doing right now, and if that continues to work for them all night, they're going to have a lot of options. They'll end up in a T formation that time with 3 backs and a line, and what they can do out of that formation, as well as their I that they've run earlier, is they can run all sorts of play action, they can do rollouts, they can do all sorts of things once they've established that run.
Tompkins under center. Fresh set of downs for the Blaze. Give it to Volk. He's going to go right side. Cuts it up. Gets maybe a couple of yards before about 4. The Eagan Wildcats are there. Olin, Merwin, and O'Toole in there as well. Mentioned Charles O'Toole, Eagan's number 2 as you watch the replay. O'Toole's going to move back to the strong safety position, get a little more free reign back there. Probably the fastest player on this Wildcat squad.
Well, that time Adam Bartle deserves a lot of credit. He did a good job of maintaining his outside leverage, and that he turned it back inside and had great help from the inside.
Tompkins, Volk. Pyle just moves forward. Good surge there by the offensive line for Burnsville. Wallach finally on the stop for the Wildcats. And Gregerson's going to get the ball inside the 20. Set up 3rd and short for Burnsville.
Yeah, I think if you're Eagan here, this is the beginning of a trend that you don't want to really see. If you're Burnsville, you're liking this because what it's doing is it's taking away one of the things that Eagan does well, which is run to the ball. Right, you're running between the tackles. There's not a lot of chasing, not a lot of speed and aggressiveness. It's just it's power of football. And now they go back to the I formation and expect them to keep running the football.
7th play of the drive for Burnsville. Straight ahead, the up back, Gregerson. And he gets it to about the 15. I believe it's going to be enough for a first down. And looking at the far side, and the sticks are moving. First down, Burnsville. That's their 2nd of this drive.
Not only is Burnsville moving the football, they're chewing up time. I
Absolutely.
mean, Eagan comes out and goes 3 and out, and then Burnsville gets the ball and chews up multiple minutes in the first quarter, establishes the opportunity to push this ball forward. And if they can get this kind of yardage on every play, Burnsville is going to be very successful the rest of this game.
Yeah, this drive started with 10:27 on the clock, so just over 4 minutes elapsed thus far. Here's Volk. Tries to find a seam as he went off left side. Gets 5, maybe 6. Good pickup again for Burnsville. 26 in for the Wildcats. In on the stop, Josh Cifuentes, among others. Cifuentes playing a little D. He was playing running back quite a bit this year earlier.
Yeah, I think as the coaching staff looks around and says, who can we plug into particular positions that can be successful there, Cifuentes is a versatile athlete, and I think that's why they've moved him around.
So number 9, Tompkins leads the blaze from the 9. Here's Volk. And that pile just continues to move. Absolute dominance thus far by the old line of Burnsville. That's going to set up 1st and goal at about the 2 for the Blaze.
Yeah, the Wildcats have got to do something, change something up here in terms of either what they're doing X's and O's wise or effort wise, because they're just getting pushed off the ball. Now, like we said, Mike, the Burnsville offensive line looks to be like it's dominating the defensive line a little bit, and that you can still stop an offensive line, but you've got to attack the line of scrimmage. Right now we're catching blocks. That is, Egan's catching blocks. They're not delivering hits.
Burnsville had no receivers in this formation, and why would you? And there goes Volk for a touchdown, Burnsville. 6-0 Blaze.
Well, I have to admit, Burnsville made that look incredibly easy. That was just way too easy, and I think if you're a defensive coach, if you're a defensive player there out there for Eagan, you got to be saying to yourself, okay, that cannot happen again. Look at the surge here. I mean, contrast that with what the Eagan running backs were getting, on the 3 plays that they had, or the 2 plays that they tried to run, where they're being attacked, hit in the backfield, 2 yards or a yard in the backfield. He's got an opportunity to get multiple yards before he's even touched.
One after attempt for the Blaze. Low liner. Counting soccer, but not in football. So 6-0 Burnsville, 2nd straight week. They've took a lead in the opening quarter as Gregerson scored, I believe, from the 9 a week ago against Farmington. But you mentioned Volk. He's their leading rusher coming in. He's got 234 yards. Gregerson, 216, so not too far behind for this Burnsville offense. Gregerson also tied for the team lead with 7 receptions, along with Nathan Lee, number 32.
Well, if you're Eagan, 2 things. Number 1, what do you know now that you didn't know at the beginning of the game? First of all, you know that these guys are going to run the football. They're going to run it right down your throat if you let them. So, and if I'm the Burnsville coaching staff, I'm saying, hey, I'm going to keep going to that well until it changes, right? I'm going to keep going to that. They lined up in that full house backfield, what Burnsville used to call the Rhino package, and they just run it right at you. And if the other team can't stop it, they're going to keep doing it, play after play after play. If I'm a Eagan coach, I just have to remind my guys, hey, look out for that rollout pass, look out for that boot pass, that naked boot, something like that, because that's when you're going to get burned for big yards.
Hernandez kicking off for Burnsville, 56. Carlos Hernandez swings that right leg into it. Very much returnable football for the Eagan Wildcats across 20-25, and that's about it. I believe that was Bartle on the return. Number of Burnsville players in there, including number 52, Bradley Bruja. So Eagan taking over down by 6. 4:58 to go here. Opening quarter on this joint ETV BCTV production. Glad you're with us here. Our Friday Night Lights from Eagan High School, homecoming 2019. 25-yard line is where the Wildcats will start. They went 3 and out last time. Tried to pass deep on first down, went incomplete, and then 2 runs, got nothing. Pitch coming near side. And it's going to maybe get a couple, maybe 3 that time. It was Jonah Evans that time. Evans, he was a quarterback last year, moved to the secondary this year. Now he's back into playing a little back here for the Wildcats. Saw Danko trying to lead the way as well, number 9 for the Eagan Wildcats.
You have to like the design of the play. The play was well designed. We fell off a block right at the point of attack. Otherwise, he's got more yardage.
Anthony Gugino under center, pitch it back. Evans once again runs into way too many players wearing white. Number of them in there for the Burnsville plays, including Atkinson, 88, and 62, Vongham. First time we've called Chase Vongham's name tonight for the Wildcats.
That time, Mike, at the point of attack, the play side tackle actually did a good job of blocking. It was what got him that time was the flow. The guys coming from the backside that were filling the spot that had been blocked out. So, I mean, stay on those blocks, and he's got more yards, guys. 2
receivers in this formation for the Wildcats. They're looking to send some guys. They didn't. And there's a first down. Wildcats out across the 40-yard line. I believe that's Danko on the reception. And indeed it is Danko coming up with the ball. First down at the 42-yard line. That's a 12-yard pickup for these Wildcats.
Yeah, and unfortunately Danko's looks like he's leaving the field. Took a nice hit there. I'm not sure if he landed funny on his arm or what, but a nice pass by Ethan Gugino. Nice job finding Danko. Danko corralling that ball. I mean, we've seen a couple of balls this year, hit hands of receivers and just not get caught. And that time that was huge for this team.
Tight formation for the Cats. We're going to go pitch back and slipping, falling down at the 40 that time. Little poor footing that time for Evans. Should mention, I was out there walking the field before, and it's not in bad shape. I mean, it's torn up a little more because there were some soccer games here, and as everybody in the viewing area knows, it's been a little wet around here to say the least. And but yeah, the field not too bad, drained pretty well.
Well, it did drain pretty well, but there are some soft spots out there, and some spots where you're going to get some bad footing. And the key, I think, is to keep your balance, keep your feet under you, and keep your pins under you, so you're not extending yourself into a dangerous place.
Second and long for the Wildcats. Gugino in motion. It was Gavin Gugino, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Play was number 22 for the Wildcats, the ball carrier Carson Kappas. And that was read extremely well by the Burnsville defense. We'll see if we have a replay there. Just again, Burnsville just bursting through that line.
Well, it was an inside handoff. Gugino fakes the pitch to the outside and then gives the inside handoff to Kappas. And that time, if they read the outside pitch and over pursue, Kappas has got an opportunity there. But that time it just, they stayed home. And credit to Burnsville for that.
Yeah, Vongham was among those in there for the Blaze, number 62 for Burnsville. Going to go to the air, and that ball's caught out near the 50, across midfield. Did he get it on a second effort? Oland, I think he did. Well, let's take a look at the spot here. One official looks like he's got a distance, and where they're going to spot it, it should move the sticks. And the official on the near side was standing back at about the 48.
Yeah, excellent play by Isaac Oland to catch the ball, have the wherewithal to stay in bounds, and then what great effort. As you said, you talked about second effort. He might have made a third effort there to get that first down. Excellent job by the young man.
Inside 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. Cats, 2 first downs on this drive as they've crossed midfield. Gavin Gugino gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. A whole host of Blaze players in there. Once again, Atkinson, we've called his name a lot already. Big number 88, the big defensive tackle, the senior for Burnsville.
These pitches to the outside, and that's the second or third we've seen tonight, Mike, but these outside tosses if they get them blocked properly and give the running back an opportunity to attack the line of scrimmage and not go east-west laterally, they can be successful, but it remains to be seen whether we can do it.
Ethan Gugino under center. Denko looked like he was going to go in motion near side, and Gugino slips. He's tripped up back at about the 49-yard line. Might have fallen forward to the 42. Again, though, good surge by that Burnsville defense. Number 7, first man in, was Korolewski. So, again, 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this is a trend you definitely don't want to see if you're an Eagan fan. It's a situation where they've got, they really need to do a better job of getting yards on first and second down. They did that kind of in the last series. This series, though, they just haven't been able to do that.
3rd and 12 as we're down to about 30 seconds to go here in the quarter. There's Olin. He's going to go around the left side. Olin finds a little bit of a seam down to about the 42-yard line. It's going to set up 4th and about 4. I think the man that tripped him up for Burnsville was number 8, Noah Juliar, and what probably will be the final play of the opening quarter. Yeah, Cats are coming to the sideline. Head coach Nick Johnson calling the guys over. And we'll see the final few seconds tick away there at the bottom of your screen. And it's going to be 4th, and they're going to say 4th and about 4 upcoming for the Wildcats when we get back to action. That was a 7-yard pickup, by the way, for Oland. Again, we should mention this is a joint production between Burnsville Community Television and Eagan Television. Big crew here tonight. I should mention some of the guys who often, these folks in the truck, they never get enough recognition, whether you're an Eagan fan or a Burnsville fan. But Josh Sibley's directing. Aaron Thomas is helping out. We got Haley Boston, Nick Mudd, Dalton Gruber. They're all Eagan regulars. And coming over from Burnsville helping out, Jane Kim, Tim Shingen, Jay Golden, Gary Howater. I know I've seen Gary's name around before. Apologize, Gary, if I butchered that. Brad Lester from ETV is the grip tonight. So really glad to have the Burnsville folks helping us out here on ETV.
Well, Coach Johnson looks to be sending. Looks like.
And he's got Gugino right across the middle, and the tight end was tied up. Incidental contact, no flag forthcoming. One might argue there could be one, but as it is, not going to happen.
I don't know how. It's officiating is a challenge. I get that. I'm more than a little bit confused because I don't know if we got a replay or not, but the linebacker is not looking at the ball. He's grabbing onto the tight end as he's flaring out. Watch the top of your screen. Look, number 5 is
Gabe Johnson.
Gabe Johnson couldn't have been any closer. If he'd been any closer, he would have been part of the receiver's uniform. And it wasn't, and he wasn't playing the ball. He wasn't playing defense. He was just, taking the guy down. I'm a little confused by that one, I have to admit.
So Burnsville, they're going to run it with Volk here on first down. Nice second effort there. Olin's going to finally drag him down. But the Burnsville back's going to get down to the Wildcat about the 42-yard line. Interstate at the 44 officially. 14-yard run for Volk.
Well, when the Eagan Wildcat defense has struggled right there, one of the things they have done is missed tackles. We had a player in a position, Sorensen's in a position to make the tackle. He's just got to wrap up. He's got to wrap up. His feet did a good job to move his hands, but his hands have got to finish the job.
Tompkins yet to throw the football for Burnsville. But why not just give it to Volk once again? Zach Merwin on the stop for the Wildcats. As Volk gets about 2 there on first down. If you're Burnsville, why would you go away from your running game?
No, there's not much point of it at this point. I think if Eagan puts you in a passing situation, if Eagan puts you, let's say Eagan gets a stop here on 2nd and 8, puts you in 3rd and 8, then I think at that point you could consider that rollout pass or that bootleg or whatever. But other than that, you're right. Running between the tackles or off tackle is where you want to be if you're Burnsville.
And as you were saying, there goes Volk once again, going to set up 3rd and about 5. Well, one thing Vince Barpus was telling me before the game is Burnsville's got their entire offensive line back together. They've been battling some injuries, but they've got their starting 5 back, and they're really some big optimism there with some of those guys.
Well, right now they're outclassing. They're certainly outclassing the Eagan defensive line. And look, the Eagan defensive line's not built to take on a power running team. They're not big. They're not wide. They're not low. But what this really does is it takes Eagan out of what it wants to do. And here comes the Rhino package.
Yep. And it's going to bounce to the outside. Good pressure by the Wildcats. But what an effort there by number 3, Mayan Hodges for Burnsville. Is it going to be enough to get to the sticks or to move the chains, I should say? It's going to be close.
Looks like he might be just short, but wow, Mike, what an effort by the young man.
That was my initial thought.
What an effort by the young man. Not only did he almost come close to getting the first down, but he held on to the football. Yep. He was extending that arm out, and it takes a lot of confidence to do that in that situation.
4th and a long one for Burnsville. Already up 6-0. There's that power package once again. And it looks like, judging by the officials, that Burnsville indeed does have the first down. Eagan thinks they might have stopped them.
Not only did they stop them, Eagan's saying that they got the football. And I think there's an excellent – I think they're having a – oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for Eagan. Now, to be fair, I wonder if we can see here in the replay, I wonder if the forward momentum of the runner has been stopped.
I think he was there, but
you know what?
He's
still moving. It's but that's if you're if you're Eagan High School, if you're the Eagan High School football team, that's the kind of season it's been.
Absolutely.
Where there's maybe a fumble. Like we had a pass interference call that maybe didn't go your way. We have a fumble that might have gone, been a big one for you, and it didn't happen.
So first down from the 33 of Eagan. Burnsville is going to go. Tompkins is going to go to the air for the first time tonight, and incomplete as he tried to come near side. Looks like number 40, or Gregerson, I should say, was the intended target.
Yeah, Merwin on the coverage did a good job of flaring out to the side. I think it was Bartle from that side, from that defensive end position, did a nice job of pressuring the quarterback. Pressuring Tompkins that time. That's the kind of thing you do now. To be fair, the way Burnsville's run the football, Mike, they can run it 3 times here and get 10 yards. So take your shot on first down, see if you can loosen things up.
And you mentioned on the first drive that it's a lot of clock eating. I mean, this drive started back at their own 42-yard line, basically at the start of this quarter, and they're only at the Eagan 33 right now, so it's not like they've gone that far. Here comes Volk once again. Again, it's just 4 or 5 yards a pop, but look at that second effort.
Yeah.
I mean, for the youngsters that are watching us, that's how you just got to keep your legs moving. And you know what? You got some big guys out front leading the way. They're like number 68, Jacob Brown. Yeah, you might want to follow Jacob a little bit there.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I'm surprised these guys don't have giant signs on their back that says "Follow me," on the bottom of their jerseys. Look at the surge by the offensive line. One thing, for viewers at home, watch what happens here. Look at these offensive linemen jumping on to push that pile. Okay, ask yourselves this, guys. If you're an Eagan offensive line fan, does the Eagan offensive line do that? They need to do it more, quite frankly.
Straight ahead, that was Gregerson that time. And again, there's that surge, not stopped by the initial tackler. Fights for another 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah. And
where does that put the ball? First down in the red zone tonight for the Burnsville Blaze.
Yeah, they're going to run it right down Eagan's throat. Eagan's got to come up with a plan. Now, what's interesting is that Eagan did a nice job defensively against, say, Lakeville North. When that game was in a competitive place, and that was Lakeville North was very, very similar to Burnsville in terms of a power running, straightforward, maybe a little more passing up the field. But Eagan can do this. They just need to do it right.
And we've got whistles on the field. Did we have a timeout? By the home team. I mean, this drive has been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays already on this drive for Burnsville. And it's taken really almost 4 minutes thus far. Should mention, looking ahead for both of these teams, Burnsville finishes out the year. They've got a couple of home games coming up. They've got Rosemount on Friday, October 11th. And then they've got Wayzata coming to town on October 16th. Neither of those will be easy games, as both of those are top 10 teams. Matter of fact, Rosemount is home tonight against number 7 Champlain Park. And yet that's probably not the biggest game in Dakota County because you've got the Battle of Lakeville going on as well with South against North. And the Wildcats, October 11th, they're going to be at Eastview. And then they finish the season October 16th back here against the Cougars from Lakeville South. You see the big crowd here tonight, homecoming 2019. We've got the food trucks out here, Brick Oven Boss, Falls Steak and Hero, Happy Hibachi making their first appearance tonight along with Alberto Mercado. A lot of good food being served before the football game tonight and a lot of good smells here in Wildcat country. Here's Volk, runs into his own line and tries to bounce outside. Nothing doing that time. Looks like he might have lost a yard on that play.
And that's the kind of defense that this Eagan Wildcat front seven's got to play. I mean, they've got to be stout in the middle, and then when the player bounces it to the outside, the defensive backs, the safeties, the linebackers flow and clean it up. Otherwise, like we've said before, it will be a long night.
2nd and 12 for the Blaze. They're going to say he lost 2 officially on that play. Again, Burnsville went to the air just one time. They were unsuccessful. Straight ahead, Gregerson. Good job that time by the Eagan defense. But then Gregerson, he still picks up about 3 yards off of that. 0-2 coming up from the secondary. Couldn't quite tell who the first Wildcat in there was. It might have been Colby Sorensen, along with Zach Merwin as well, in for the Wildcats. Setting up 3rd and long for Burnsville.
Well, this is interesting for Burnsville. I have to think that Burnsville probably sees this as 4-down territory, and if that's the case, then they can run this football on 3rd down and set up a makeable 4th down. On the other hand, their place kicker did miss the extra point, so maybe they feel like they have to go for this and have 4-down territory here.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 for Burnsville. Cats looking to force Burnsville to make that decision. There's Tompkins near side, small completion, and that's number 1 Rochelo, who is going to get down to the 16, but that only picks up maybe a couple of yards. So now comes that decision. What does Burnsville choose to do?
Well, if they had any,
Oh, nice for that catch.
Yeah, it was a heck of a catch. Might have even been incomplete. It might have bounced, but it was just heck of an effort. And quite frankly, there's minimal gains. It's probably not worth getting too incensed over. But it's look, if you're Burnsville, you probably run the football here. You throw the football. You do something. Because is Eagan going to go 90 yards on you or 80 yards on you?
We got 4th and 7. Burnsville's got 3 receivers. I don't know if we've seen 3 receivers total this far for Burnsville. Tompkins tries to cut it up. Tompkins looks, throws, got a man open. I believe that's going to be. Did he hang on to it? He did. 1st down, Burnsville Blaze. I believe that was looks like it was number 18 for Noah Abbott, the junior wide receiver. Take a look at this. How many times did Tompkins nearly get stopped here? Off his back foot. You can't leave a guy that open. Somebody blew a coverage over there.
Yeah, that was definitely an opportunity for Eagan to get lost in the but Tompkins, credit to Tompkins, he did a great job of buying time with his feet. And that's just something you just can't let happen if you're Eagan.
Volk and the Blaze from the 8. Volk, 6 points from the 8. 12-0 Burnsville. 2nd of the night for Volk. Actually, it was Gregerson. Check that.
Well, you look at that surge, and I mean that's tackling. When you're trying to tackle a ball carrier who's a good ball carrier around his shoulder pads, we have a problem, Houston. Right? I mean that's a real problem, and quite frankly, the defense has got to they've got to remember what they did well, and that what they've done well this year, and that tackling like that is not what they've done well.
No, I thought Gregerson was leading the way for Volk, so my apologies on the initial call. But bottom line is it's 6 points for Burnsville. Is Burnsville going to get enough guys out there initially? They're slow. I was wondering if they're going to have to burn a timeout here. Looks like they're going to get it off. Tompkins is going to roll right. Looks, throws, and incomplete. So 12-0 Burnsville Blaze. Just past the midway point here of quarter number 2 on ETV. And just take a look at the 2-point attempt for the Blaze. And just good coverage back there by O2.
In contrast to the 4th down and 10 or 4th down and 8 or whatever it was, that time the Eagan Wildcats stuck on their assignments and created an opportunity for themselves. I mean, look, there's 4:52 remaining in the half. The Eagan Wildcat offense did, in its last drive, move the football. But I think if you're Coach Johnson, you got to say to yourself, gee whiz, we're not going to get a lot of drives against this Burnsville team. We need to make things happen when we have the ball. Now, that being said, we have seen Ethan Gugino throw the football. We have seen him throw the ball down the field, and and we've seen a couple of times when they've either drawn penalties or whatever, and it's been an opportunity where they've been able to put some things together, and they need a little luck. Quite frankly, they need something from the football gods right now to get them going. Give them a spark, and I think if they get a spark, even if they don't score, I mean, candidly, even if we don't score, that is, Eagan doesn't score, I think if candidly they could just move the football down into Blaze territory and make it look dangerous, that'll give them some momentum into the half.
I'll tell you, it's getting way ahead of ourselves, but Burnsville's going to get the ball to start the second half. By the way, that last Blaze drive, 13 plays, 58 yards, took 7:02.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
I'm jealous. I mean, I just that's, as a former offensive lineman, I love stuff like that. It's awesome.
Burnsville had 4 first downs on that drive. Another short kick, returnable. Bartle, 30, 35, out near the 40. Nice return by Bartle out to the 45-yard line.
Well, Bartle did a nice job of hitting that full speed. Now, there have been times when either he or other returners for Eagan have gone cautiously into the pack, and that time Bartle, threw caution to the wind, put the pedal down and hit that going full speed, and it's amazing. Good things happen when you go full speed, right? So watch Bartle pick up this ball. Notice he doesn't slow watch him. After he has this ball, he's going to come into the right side of there he is, and in your screen, and now he is moving full speed. He is not tiptoeing. He's not looking for a spot. He says, I'm going to find a seam, and I'm going to pick it, and I'm going to force it open.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know who that was, but somebody had a very key block down there for the Wildcats. As here's Evans on first down, 50, 45. Is that going to be enough for a first down? That's the way for the Wildcats to start a drive. They're going to be right about at the sticks, and there they go, 10 yards. Jonah Evans on first down.
Well, this is, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I mean, if you're an Eagan fan, if you're watching this, a big return and a first down play for 10 yards, I mean, this is the kind of thing they need from a momentum standpoint in this half.
4:12 and counting to
nice
go.
Nice inside handoff.
In the half. Cats with 2 timeouts.
And a slip by Jonah Evans. Notice that.
Absolutely. Gugino up under center. Evans goes in motion. There's Gugino actually on the keep. He's going to be close to a first down. It might be enough. I think everybody bid on the Williams fake.
I bid on it.
I did too.
I absolutely thought Williams had that football. Gugino, the magician, pulling it out. And I'm not sure how in the world he made it to get. Oh, I guess they're.
Just short.
Yeah, they're giving him 9 yards. I thought for sure that he had crossed the 35-yard line, but, so be it. You got to go, you got to go the full distance to get the touchdown anyway, so.
I stopped out of practice yesterday. I was actually able to talk to Ethan Gugino briefly afterwards, and 1, great kid, and 2, he was just talking about how this offense needs to do something because our defense has been out there way too much, and he's absolutely right. And what a great start on this drive for the Wildcats. 2 plays, 2 first downs. Gugino is a good ball. Well, instead that one's picked off far side by the Burnsville Blaze. Can't tell the number on the far side. Everybody's so excited. Was it Rochelo? I couldn't tell on the pick. We'll see if we've got it on the replay. Ball's going to be at. Let's see. Looks like just some confusion. Indeed, yeah, Rochelo. Nice job getting your toes down.
Yeah, he did an excellent job. I initially thought, I'm glad we have this great replay from this good crew, but I thought for sure that ball was going to be out of bounds. I thought no way that he's going to catch that and stay in bounds. It was right on the line, and full credit to him. I think the receiver stopped on the route. Yep. I'm not sure what happened there, Mike, but the receiver stopped on the route, and that hung Gugino out to dry.
Yeah, you beat me on that line. I was about to say it. And Burns looking to run it on first down, not really going to go very far. Should mention for Burnsville, number 1 is, we've been saying Rochelo all night. It's Landon Rochelo Schultes, but their coach Barton said I can just go with Rochelo. So that's why we're going with just Rochelo tonight.
Okay, and that's what we will go with.
If the coach was in air, that's why. 1 yard for Burnsville there on first down.
Well, I have to think Burnsville is going to be very conservative here. The last thing they want to do is give the ball back to the Eagan Wildcats deep in their own territory.
Yeah, Burnsville, I believe, has all 3 timeouts, and they're going to run it straight ahead. Worked so well so far for Burnsville. Wow, look at that effort. I'm guessing that's Gregerson. Yeah, indeed it was. The power like that. That's some good size there on number 19 for Gregerson.
I swear, I think I saw somebody getting literally dragged across the ground. No.
Yeah,
I
Wallach.
did. I saw Wallach. Now,
timeout was taken on the field, by the way.
so so Wallach. All right, so for Wallach, here's the thing. It's great effort, but it's a little bit funny. But on the other hand, he's holding on, and he's holding on to make sure that guy's not going to run break free. So I'm not going to criticize it. It's just kind of an unfortunate camera angle.
So what you're saying is that's not making the highlight reel at the end of the year.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it does make the highlight reel at the end of the year. I mean, he held on, didn't he?
Hey, did you know, by the way, you can watch your favorite ETV shows anytime, anywhere. Visit Eagan-TV.com for video on demand of sports, government meetings, and locally produced programming. Again, check it out, Eagan-TV.com. Again, we got a nice joint crew tonight. Folks from Eagan TV, folks from Burnsville Community Television here on a definitely football feel kind of night. First Friday in October. Hard to believe. Playoffs start, I believe, 3 weeks from tonight in 6A.
It is hard to believe. That is hard to believe. It seems like the season's just flown.
3rd and 5 for the Eagan Wildcats, Morgan Evans.
Go deep in their own territory, so they're going to see this ball back. And Hodges did a nice job of trying to break a tackle, but look where he's carrying that football.
Yep.
That football is well out away from his body. And I think if you're the Burnsville coaching staff, you're going to say, okay, we love the effort. We really think you're a good athlete, but we got to make sure that you're holding on to that football.
Yep. That's his second carry of the ball game. We are Eagan. As we said, it's homecoming 2019 here in Wildcat Country. We've got a big halftime coming up. We've got the dance team. They're going to honor some students for their work in the community, things like that. I know there's a word they told me and I'm blanking on it all of a sudden, but I apologize. The band is going to be here.
That's right.
And we've got Hollywood Pyrotechnics light up the sky here above Wildcat Country. Burnsville punting this one away first time tonight. Cats nearly got that one. And they're going to get excellent field position out at the 40, just outside the 40 with 2:01 to go. So this is about where Eagan was when Gugino threw that pick not too long ago. And for that Burnsville drive, that took all of 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Well, it helps when you call 2 timeouts.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, it helps when you call 2 timeouts. But, Mike, you're absolutely right. Only 1 minute and 2 seconds. And as you absolutely correct, this is about where Eagan was when the interception was thrown. If you're the defense, if you're the Eagan defense, you did your job.
Absolutely.
And you absolutely did your job. You gave the offense the opportunity to come out. I mean, you're going to come out. You're going to try to move this ball down the field. There's still plenty of time now. You don't have any timeouts, so you got to be smart about moving the sticks, getting out of bounds, things like that. But you have an opportunity here if you're Eagan.
Max Robinson wind up wide left for the Wildcats. Haven't called him yet tonight. Pitch coming back. And pitch read well by the Burnsville defense. Guess who? There's Atkinson. Boy, we called that name an awful lot tonight. Evans Danko, I should say, get pretty much gobbled up by Atkinson.
Yeah, Danko didn't have a whole lot of room there. At the same time, though, he probably could have cut that up a step earlier and might have had a chance to get a little bit of more positive yardage.
2nd and 12 as the clock continues to roll. There goes Evans, Williams, and actually it's going to be Evans on the pitch. I bid on the Williams fake initially too, and he's finally pushed out of bounds on the far side by Burnsville's Nathan Lee, and that'll stop the clock with 1:27 to go. Going to set up 3rd and about 6 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the Wildcats got lucky, candidly. I think they got lucky there. It looked like Evans stopped his forward progress and was actually moving backwards at the time that he went out of bounds. And I'm surprised that the officials did not keep that clock moving.
So 3rd and 6 they put up on the board. Again, 1:27 to go before the half. As we said, a very busy half coming up. Doing the dance team, the band. At fireworks. Of course, the Cats would like to get some fireworks before this half begins. There's coming near side. Atkinson, nice job for Burnsville. Absolutely, Danko tore him down. 41 helping out Hadari Lewis. Second time we've called him tonight. Not sure what that call was for the Wildcats, but I think Burnsville just took a timeout.
They sure did. And that was an inside handoff. Interesting call on 3rd and long. I mean, for the inside handoff. That being said, if you think that it's that, look, you call the play because you think it's there. The other thing is, if you're Eagan, you're probably thinking you were in 4-down territory anyway. So if the inside handoff was designed to get 5 yards, and it gets you 5 yards, then you've got 4th down and 5 or 4th down and 4, and you've got an opportunity to do something on 4th down. But as you point out, Mike, that was read pretty well. Not a lot of room there for the Wildcats.
It just feels like this entire drive we've mentioned 88 for Burnsville. Atkinson, he's a big senior D tackle, Isaiah Atkinson for Burnsville, just busting through. 4th and 9 for the Cats. 1:16 left before the half. 2 receivers set for Eagan. Actually, Eagan looks like they're going to punt it. Although your quarterback is the up back. Yep, they will kick it sort of away. Not a good kick, but it takes a very favorable roll for the Wildcats. Down to about the 12-yard line. Probably not a bad call for the Wildcats.
No, it wasn't. It's certainly the safe call.
Yes, that's maybe a better word.
If it's 4th down and less than 5, Mike, I think that the Wildcats probably go for it there. But on 4th and 9, 4th and 8, 4th and 9, whatever it was, yeah, I think the punt is definitely better. I mean, look, Burnsville. To be fair, Burnsville has shown what? They've shown the ability to run the football, chew up clock, and really grind you down. They have not shown a quick strike ability.
No,
and so putting Burnsville in this position says, okay, guys, if you want to, for the minute 8, 2 timeouts, you want to try to quick strike us, you can, but we're gonna make you go 90 yards, almost 90 yards to do it.
Well, let's see what the Blaze choose to do. Yeah, give it to Volk, and Merwin wraps him up. Minimal gain out to the 15. Pickup of about 3. Clock continues to roll, and I think Burnsville is going to be content to go in with a 12-0 lead at the break.
It's nice on 1st down to see if you can pop one. I mean, let's face it, the Eagan Wildcats before the end of halves in first halves this year have given up big plays, Mike. They have given up big plays and, guys breaking tackles and things like that. So try it on 1st down. Now on 2nd down, I mean, quite candidly, if you're the Burnsville coaching staff, maybe you just kneel on it and say, you know what, we've got a 2-touchdown lead. Let's go into halftime. We don't want to cough up the football here. We don't want to do anything that's going to create a problem for us.
I don't know. I'll give it to Volk, see if he can bust it. Why not? Guess what he did? Got out to the 24. It's a 10-yard pickup.
Yep. Well, so I'm curious though. If you're gonna keep running the football, then why do you take so much time on huddle and why do you? Because you're looking at 20 seconds left. They're not even going to get this play off.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm confused. I mean, if you're going to let the clock run, then that's fine. But if you have 2 timeouts in your pocket, so if you're going to keep running the football to try to move the ball and score, then why don't you use your timeouts?
Final seconds ticking off, and both teams are going to head to their locker room. And the Burnsville Blaze coming over to Wildcat country. 24 minutes gone by, and it's the Burnsville Blaze 12. And the Eagan Wildcats yet to get on the board. 12-0 Burnsville. Well, we got ourselves, I think we've mentioned it, really the difference has been Burnsville's just dominated the line of scrimmage. I think both offensively and defensively, really able to run the ball at will. And Atkinson and that D-line for the Blaze are just really just gobbling up just about everything Eagan's tried tonight.
Yeah, Eagan's had some positive things on offense. It wouldn't be right to say that they've had nothing going for them, but they've got to put things together. It's so important to put these things together. If you can't put those things together, then it's really going to be problematic. So as we said, coming up at halftime, it's a busy halftime here in Wildcat country.
We've got the dance team. We've got the band. We're going to have Hollywood Pyrotechnics. So hang tight, folks. It's 12-0 Burnsville at the break, and let's take a look. Let's watch the dance team and the band as we celebrate homecoming 2019 at Eagan High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Eagan Wildcats Fall Dance Team.
Man, I feel just like a rock star. I've been in the hills, feeling like a pop star. They like Savage, why you got a 12-car garage and you only got 6 cars? Made the hot chart, remember I used to chop hard. Living like a rock star, I'm living like a rock star. G-Wagon, 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 all the housewives pulling up. I got a lot of toys, 720S bumping Fallout Boy. Used to have a lot, but I got more now. Made another hit, cause I got bored now. Always going for it, never pump fourth down. Last call, Hail Mary, Prescott, touchdown, hey. I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero, get my baby 35. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. I don't have much to say. I'll be out front. What you comes for my night? Feelings come into play, and I'm thinking this happens every time. They said I would never get this right. Think that we don't see who you are. Laughing to the bank like ha. Guess that I'm just talking too much blah blah blah. Used to have friends, now I got enemies. Used to keep them close, now they dead to me. Money tend to show all the tendencies. Enemies, yeah, so sad. My mama calls, see you on TV. Sunset don't change. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard for now to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagan Wildcats Fall Dance Team, coached by Jamie Kent and Maddie Redding. Thank you. Continuing with our homecoming homecoming celebration, we will be introducing to you the 2018 Eagan High School Demonstrators. The Eagan High School senior class has nominated and selected the following seniors to be honored as difference makers for the class of 2020. And here they are, your difference makers: Lindsay Arndt, Ryan Berg, Maddie Berg, Jake Barron, Heidi Chow, Brittany Che, Sydney Coleman, Christine DeMarcus, John Flanagan, Taylor Greben,
Leah Lemieux. Kai Loazo Purcell. Max Meekin. Lauren Miller. Finn O'Malley. Emma Veldhuis. Matt Verbeck. Ling Wong. And Larry Zoe. Let's hear it for your Eagan High School class of 2020 Difference Makers on Homecoming 2019. And now as we continue with our halftime, Homecoming 2019, please welcome to the field marching band. The 167-member band is ready for our homecoming halftime performance. Our show begins with a hit from 2006 by Robert Randolph and the Family Band off their album Colorblind, and featuring some formations in the design of the band's logos. Here is the Eagan Varsity Marching Band with Ain't Nothing Wrong With That. For our next song, the Varsity Marching Band unearths a song from the film Cult-Like Following. Shortly after the Rocky Horror Picture Show was released into theaters in 1975, audiences became infamous for their interactions with the movie as it was playing. Theaters today still draw the hooligans out as they dance, sing, and shout along during their occasional and notorious midnight showings. Let's keep the tomfoolery and skullduggery to a minimum as the Varsity Marching Band plays and dances to the Time Warp. The Time Warp. Our final song this evening brings us to one of the great TV theme songs of all time. While in charge of the 5-0 Task Force, Lieutenant Commander Steve McGarrett leads his team, including Danny, Chin-Ho, and Kono, in fighting crime in Hawaii. The show was popular enough to warrant a rebirth of the series in 2010, which is now in its 10th season. Whether you are a fan of the original or the remake, one thing has remained true: the music is a hit. To close our show tonight, please enjoy the groovin' theme song that is as recognizable as any. The Varsity Marching Band performs Hawaii 5-0. Hawaii 5-0. Thank you for your support and enthusiasm for the Eagan High School Varsity Marching Band. The Eagan High School Varsity Marching Band was directed by drum majors Victoria James, Livy Johnson, and Sophie Stein. Band directors Brett Benson, Doug Hart, and Michael Pearson. Wish to thank the Eagan High School administration and the Eagan High School band parents for their support. We continue with our halftime homecoming celebration. Tonight's homecoming fireworks show is provided and paid for by the Eagan High School football boosters. The fireworks show will be performed by Hollywood Pyrotechnics of Eagan. Fans, enjoy the homecoming fireworks show for 2019.
hands, yeah, yeah, 'cause it goes on.
And we welcome you back inside Wildcat Country, where what a display by Hollywood Pyrotechnics here, homecoming 2019 at Eagan High School.
It was an incredibly impressive display. A lot of green, a lot of blue here for Eagan Wildcat homecoming 2019. And right now, the Wildcats need to do something to get on this scoreboard. They got to light this scoreboard up like Hollywood Pyrotechnics was lighting it up at halftime. Quite frankly, if let's face it, if you can't score points, you can't win football games. And these Eagan Wildcats have the opportunity. They have an opportunity to be competitive in this football game. They got to get on the board.
Now you see the score. It is 12-0 Burnsville. Got some quickie stats at the half, by the way. Burnsville with 113 yards of offense. 103 of that is on the ground. Volk has 57 yards. Gregerson 44. Wildcats pretty balanced. 28 yards rushing, 24 yards passing. But they also have that pick six, or not a pick six, but an interception. Pardon me, thrown by Ethan Gugino. I'm Mike Cook. He's Nathan Cron. Happy to be with you here in a joint telecast between Eagan TV and the Burnsville Community Television. Folks, great to have everybody on board here tonight. As we said, homecoming 2019 in Wildcat Country. As we said earlier, too, looking ahead a couple of weeks, Burnsville, they've got 2 games left at home this year. They've got the Rosemont Irish coming to town on October 11th. And then the Wayzata Trojans coming over to Burnsville on Wednesday, October 16th. Yes, indeed, we said Wednesday. That's they used to call it MEA weekend, but I don't know what it's called anymore. But bottom line, there's a couple days off. We're playing on Wednesday. And the Wildcats are at Eastview Friday, October 11th. And they finish out the regular season at home against Lakeville South here on the 16th. By the way, Lakeville South leads North 14-6 at the half in that battle of Lakeville right now. And Rosemont is home against Champlin Park. Champlin Park was up 10-7 late first half last we saw.
Yeah, if you're Lakeville South, how delicious would a win against Lakeville North be this season? Lakeville North obviously has designs on being back-to-back state champions, and to have Lakeville South come into your, be playing your arch rival, your crosstown rival, and have them hanging, taking a lead into halftime, that's serious stuff.
I'll tell you, I covered the Lakeville South Prior Lake game a week ago. Lakeville South has a 3-headed rushing machine, and if we think Burnsville's been able to put yards on the Wildcats, wait till that crew gets here. They put, I think it was 337 against Prior Lake on the ground. They only had like 25 passing, but just ran, and then they're going to run some more. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, last year the Lakeville South Cougars did an excellent job of running the football against the Eagan Wildcat defense. They've obviously gotten better, as you say. They've got this three-headed rushing attack. Ultimately, whether it's Lakeville South, whether it's Burnsville, it doesn't matter. If the Eagan Wildcats can't stand up to, what you might call a power running attack, they can't find some sort of key, whether it's scheme or whether it's technique, they can't find something, it's going to be a long day.
I'll tell you, we mentioned it is homecoming week here in Wildcat country. Been a crazy week around here, to say the least. Homecoming dance, of course, tomorrow night, but you had the dodgeball tournament the other day. 66 teams competed in that dodgeball tournament. I didn't hear who won, but Powder Puff finals are going to be on Monday, as that got pushed back due to the weather. But congratulations to everybody involved with that. They raised $1,400 for Dakota Woodlands through the Powder Puff this year. And Dakota Woodlands, they help homeless women and their families that are struggling to get by. A really nice Eagan resource to have. Great group up there. We're looking, as we look at the Wildcats there, today I saw is National Taco Day, National Golf Lovers Day, and National Vodka Day.
Well, it's an interesting combination and confluence
Yes.
of three fun things that can tend to be somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess I'll say it that way. I started the sentence with an idea of where I wanted to go, and then about halfway through I realized, this is not going to work. So like in true fashion, and along with my normal everyday profession, I backpedaled and used words to get out of the problem. But bottom line is, from a football standpoint, and that's why I'm sitting here talking with you, Mike, and have the opportunity to do this. From a football standpoint, the Eagan Wildcats are kicking off. They're kicking off to start the second half, moving from will be ultimately left to right on your monitor, and they're going to be kicking off to the south with a little bit of wind behind them. Eagan's got to do something on defense here to get this ball back.
Again, you saw the moon there. Lovely night in Wildcat country. First Friday in October. Temperature probably in the upper 40s at this point. A lot of fans out there. I see stocking caps, heavier jackets. Unless you're a part of the student section here in Wildcat country, they're here decked out in the blue and the green and school colors. And kudos to the Burnsville student section. A lot of them making the trek. They have a whiteout as their theme tonight for the Burnsville students. I think they call themselves the Super Fans, I think I saw on Twitter.
The Super Fans, okay.
I believe.
All right.
I could be mistaken, but bottom line, you see the Burnsville student section. Nice turnout by them tonight here in Wildcat country. Hoping their squad can ruin homecoming 2019, as we got whistles before that ball was kicked. Well, we'll just do that over. That was practice. So we said a couple other. She mentioned, boy, we looked out at halftime, and the food trucks, they were hopping tonight. Again, thanks for everybody coming out, part of the Friday Night Lights program. The Brick Oven Bus is here. Fall Steak and Eros. Happy Hibachi, El Burrito Mercado all here tonight. And, of course, the cheer team's out there with their Candyland booth, all kinds of little, even some flashback candies I think I saw up there tonight. And they were selling some Wildcat T-shirts, and the band has their booth going as well. They've got some trinkets available here in Wildcat country. So a lot of folks coming out supporting their Wildcats here on Homecoming 2019. And their second half is now underway. And Burnsville with their first return of the night out near the 30-yard line, where the Blaze will take over 1st and 10. Jordan Tompkins should be leading the Burnsville offense onto the field as you look at number 28. That's Lucas Volk, as we said, their leading rusher. I believe it was 57 yards I wrote down in the first half for Luca.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see, Mike, what the Eagan defensive staff has come up with here in the second half. I mean, they clearly have to do something to prevent Burnsville from running it down their throat, and Burnsville's going to keep doing that with that big offensive line that they have, unless Eagan can stop it or can force them into doing some other things.
From the 30-yard line, Blaze, first play of half number 2. And Tompkins, Alex, she keep it coming around the left side. And that's a first down out across the 40, 45. Finally dropped down in front of Coach Nick Johnson of the Wildcats. But a nice pickup by the Burnsville quarterback on first down. Cifuentes over there for the Wildcats.
Well, you lost, Robinson's in a position to make the tackle, and he lost his footing. I mean we've seen guys, and honest to gosh, you said earlier that you thought the field was in pretty good shape, and I think from an ice test standpoint it is in pretty good shape, but gosh, we're seeing a lot of guys slipping.
Well, of course, as the night wears on, it gets a little,
You know what?
a
That's
little more damp.
That's an excellent point.
I'm looking down at the flag, and it's for the most part hanging limp at the north end of Wildcat Stadium. So Burnsville near midfield, and they'll still be near midfield. Gregerson gets a couple. First man in there is Zach Wallach for the Wildcats. Colby Sorensen helping out as well. I'll tell you, on that last play on the quarterback keep, give Derek Hansen credit, number 84 there for the Wildcats. From that defensive spot, he came down and chased down that quarterback.
Yeah, from the backside. He's the backside defensive end, and he runs him down. You're absolutely right.
Tell you what, I talked to Coach Comer a little bit yesterday at practice too, and I said, Hansen's one of those kids I've really been impressed with this year. Switch over to the defensive line, and like you said, you get a big kid like that coming through. What's Hansen, 6'4", gets those arms up. Yeah, haven't called his name a lot, but he has definitely been a presence inside for the Wildcats. There's Sorensen on the stop of Volk. And it's going to be third down and about 7 upcoming for Burnsville. Wallach coming up off the bottom of the pile as well. One half of the group we called the Zach attack with Wallach and Merwin. And it's going to be 3rd and 6 for Burnsville.
There is something that Eagan could potentially take advantage of. The Burnsville backs are not going down easy. They're running strong. They're pushing the pile, things like that. And when that happens, there is an opportunity to stick your hand in and try to rip that ball out. And so maybe that's what Eagan's got to do here in the second half to be competitive on defense.
3rd and 6 from midfield, Blaze. First drive of the second half for either squad. Tompkins too far for his intended receiver over there, Rochelo. And it should be punt time, I would imagine, for the Burnsville Blaze.
I can't imagine that they would want to take an opportunity to, be in a situation where they're giving Eagan, field position at midfield. I mean, certainly make Eagan drive the field on you.
Burnsville all gather. There's part of the whiteout, the Burnsville High School student section.
Man, the whiteouts had a lot to cheer about so far tonight.
Absolutely, they're cheering the boys in white, up 12-0, throwing a whitewash, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, actually, we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
Just inside 10 minutes to go here. Third quarter, Burnsville, I believe this is their second punt of the game. Good pressure. Oh, Cats run into him, and there's a flag. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for Burnsville. We got a little pushing behind the play. 0-2 in there for Eagan, and it was number 7 for Burnsville, their punter, Korolewski. He and 0-2 were, I don't know.
There were some extracurricular activities, I think, going on.
Yeah, I was going to say exchanging pleasantries.
Now, what'll be interesting here is...
So there's the roughing the kicker.
Yep. Now
0-2 stands.
And I'm assuming that they're going to call a 15-yarder on that.
I would imagine.
I would think so, although they could call a 5-yarder.
That's a 15, I think.
But it probably is 15. And so ultimately what ends up happening, though, is one play is going to give you a first down, and then you're going to move back 15 yards because it's...
Fouls on both teams on the play.
Here we go.
It's a dead ball foul.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense 2. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking number 7. Those fouls offset, 4th down.
So there we go. We'll replay the down. 4th down still. Is that offsetting calls?
I got to level with you, Mike. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that those are offsetting fouls. I thought for sure that they would enforce the roughing the kicker and then move Burnsville for a first down and then move Burnsville back 15 yards. So I thought Burnsville was somehow going to get a first down out of that. Apparently not. I think the Burnsville coaching staff has the same question.
Right. Coach Varpas over there looking, trying to figure things out.
Well, or maybe he's irritated at his punt team because they're not lining up where he wants them to line up,
or both.
Yep.
Lee the up back. And Eagan setting up the return this time. Good kick. And that's midfield 15. Nice job downfield by Burnsville.
Yeah, excellent coverage.
That was 22 all the way downfield for Burnsville. Jacob Carlson, the senior running back. Excellent special teams play to stop Sorensen of the Wildcats.
Well, I'm supposed to be a football guy, but I have to go back and look at the rule book and figure that one out because I got to think that when you have a penalty that occurs during the play, you enforce that penalty and then you enforce the dead ball foul after the play. But maybe the argument is because the ball was still in play.
Right.
You know what? Guess. That's probably what it was. The ball wasn't dead yet. It wasn't dead yet. Right. That's probably what was going on.
So the Wildcats, 1st and 10 from their own 17. This will be their first drive of the second half. And they will run the ball and maybe get a couple of yards on that one. Williams, the ball carrier. A number of Burnsville players in on the stop, including 41, Hadari Lewis. There's that play right there. Actually, Lewis kind of came over to help out at the end. It was 22, Carlson again for Burnsville. 2nd and 7, they've got this one. Just shy. Well, you can see the nose of the football on the 20-yard line. We'll give the Cats 3 on that one. Jaden Williams, 24, in the backfield for the Wildcats. He started the year playing both ways and then kind of shifted just defense and obviously now back on the offense. Got a man wide open across the 40-45 out near midfield. First down, Eagan Wildcats. Robinson, his first catch of the ball game, and that's going to be a 30-yard pickup.
Well, Max wasn't slipping there. He had good feet under him, and he did a good job of reining that ball in. Interesting choice, an interesting place to put that ball. It was between the linebackers and the safeties, and that time Robinson did a nice job of catching the ball, making sure he had it, and then moving up the field. Maybe the Eagan Wildcats have decided, you know what, we're going to struggle running against this stout front. Maybe we're going to throw this football a little bit in the second half.
Down 12-0 right now are the Wildcats. First drive of the half. There's going to be the pitch, and that didn't go really anywhere. Nice job by Gregerson and the Burnsville defense. 62 in there as well. Vongham.
Credit to the Burnsville defensive line for penetration and the linebackers for scraping. That if you're Eagan, you can't run the option if you can't block it properly. And that time we didn't block it properly. How do I know? Because I saw an offensive tackle standing, in the backfield, not blocking anybody. Well, I shouldn't say it might not have been an offensive tackle, it might have been a guard. But the point was, it was clear that somebody had missed that block or hadn't picked up on that scheme.
You think Gugino, the senior quarterback, calling out the play. Carson Cooper, the Wildcats center, number 74. Will Herman's 56 is the right tackle. Adam Call is at right guard for the Wildcats. Or check that. Diego Valletta, I should say, right guard. Adam Call's on the other side. Nice spin move, Gugino. And he's going to move that pile down to about the 45-yard line. About an 8-yard pickup there for the Wildcat signal caller.
I like the shifty move. I like the spin there at the end of towards the end of that play where he's opening up his hips and able to get north-south real quick. Nice job by Gugino there, spinning and turning and twisting. But, I got to give a little bit of credit to the offensive line here and the guys blocking for the Eagan. I mean, they did a good job that time helping move that pile.
I was just going to say that looked like what Burnsville was doing
Absolutely.
most of the first half with that O-line and that extra surge. 3rd and 5, 6:46 to go here in the third quarter and counting. 12-0 Blaze. Third down for the Wildcats. Long count trying to get Burnsville to jump. They did not. Maybe changing the play. There's a man in motion. Straight ahead, Williams stumbles his way. It's going to be close.
I think the officials are marking him short.
He's going to be a yard short.
I think it's probably a pretty good spot, pretty proper spot, but he fell backwards. And Mike, I wonder if Williams had been able to keep his forward momentum, to keep his body lean the right way, I suspect at the end of this play, watch here at the end of this play, he gets spun around right there, and he doesn't quite have the momentum. And then, of course, he starts to lose his feet. Although,
good spot by the official. Look, his knee did touch.
It did.
4th and short for the Cats. Williams, absolutely no chance. Great pressure by the Burnsville defense. Bursting through number 5, Gabe Johnson.
Burnsville leaving no doubt that they knew that play was coming. They knew exactly where it was going, and they penetrated. They blew it up, and it's just so frustrating if you're an Eagan Wildcat fan to see that because, they absolutely blitzed right at the point of attack. They weren't reading anything else. Johnson, credit to Johnson, he wasn't reading anything else. He was reading that dive, looking for that dive on a 4th and 1, 4th and short. And he blew it up.
Yep, absolutely. 5:48 to go, third quarter. It's Burnsville 12. The Wildcats nothing here on a joint ETV, BCTV production. Tompkins looking to throw. It's Gregerson off his hands. Ball that should have been caught. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Burnsville Blaze. Again, we haven't seen Burnsville really go to the air that much. They had, I think it was 10 yards passing in the opening half, and I think they were 1 for 3. Maybe it was 1 for 2. You know, we mentioned that Burnsville offensive line, and we haven't really mentioned those guys tonight, but they've got 58 Dylan Smith, 62 is Chase Vongham, Dylan Fisher 65, Jacob Brown 68, and Derek Olson 73 up on that line for the Blaze. A little confusion there behind the line, but they still get about 3 yards, making something out of nothing.
Well, when your offensive line's got a good surge, you can sometimes fall forward for 3 yards, and that's exactly what Burnsville did there. I mean, Burnsville's got an opportunity here. I mean, I'm kind of curious. They did put themselves a little bit behind the watch here. That looked like the up back. There was a little bit of a collision.
That was Gregerson,
yeah,
actually.
absolutely. Gregerson colliding with Tompkins.
But credit Alex Kemp for the Wildcats. He stayed with it there, number 60. Didn't hesitate at all and made the stop.
Absolutely. Well, big third down play here for the Wildcats.
3rd and 8 for the Blaze. Got one receiver out to the right, top of your screen. Tompkins under center, and they are going to throw. Tompkins tries to go downfield, a little too high for his intended target on the far side. That was number 2, Keegan Baldwin, the senior wideout, and it should be punt time once again for Burnsville.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised, Mike. I have to admit that drive. Now, I get it, throwing on first down. You know, you get modest gain on second down, so you feel like you have to maybe throw on third down. But you know, Burnsville had so much success in the first half, running the ball between the tackles and off tackle, really pushing these Wildcats back, and now they're really playing into the Wildcats' strength, which is pursuit and speed and things like that. So I think they want to do a good job of. I think they maybe need to get back to what they were doing in the first half.
Burnsville set to punt this one away for the second time. Nice high kick once again. And Sorensen's going to let that one go. Inside the 15. We'll get to the 10 just about. Cats going to start deep in their own end at the 10-yard line. So we mentioned this is a joint production between ETV and BCTV. And you know what? If you want to be part of the action here at the game, you can volunteer with both Eagan TV or BCTV, and you could be part of our TV sports crew. Sign up at EaganTV.com. And I can tell you, Nathan and I can both tell you, no experience necessary.
Oh, no experience. I mean, they hold your hand through everything. Golly, I mean, it's it's a situation where we're just, we're definitely standing on the shoulders of giants.
From their own 10. The Cats 4:43 to go in the third quarter. And make that 2nd and 9 upcoming. Again, good job by the Burnsville defense. 41 Lewis in there once again as Williams gobbled up.
Now, Danko took that inside handoff. There was a crease there, Mike, and I'm kind of curious. I wish I could see these things back in slow motion and really kind of break it down, but there's an opportunity. There is a crease on that inside handoff, and what I don't know is whether Danko's pushing it too far in or too far out or where he's going with it, but I can see it from where I'm sitting that there is a crease for him to hit. He just has to hit that crease like he did earlier this year a couple times.
2nd and long for the Cats. Gino looks like he's changing things up at the line. He's got Williams alone in the backfield. Gino, 5-step drop, looks. Got his man, there's his brother Gavin, and he gets out to about the 16, slips and falls. So the Ethan-Gavin connection. Rochelo there for Burnsville. Rochelo, I should say.
Well, nice play by Gagino. Well, the older Gagino, I guess. 17 Gagino. Nice job of changing the play. Good job of the younger Gagino picking up the play and then getting open and catching that ball. And, again, another guy loses his footing out here, Mike.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And it's been all Eagan that's lost their footing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a time that a Burnsville player's really slipped and slid too much.
Big 3rd and 4 for the Cats with just over 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Got to get something put together. They're down by 2 scores. And that's not going to happen, wrapped up by the Burnsville linebacker, Lewis. That play just took way too long to develop, and that's going to put him back at about the 7-yard line. We're going to say loss of 9 on the sack.
Yeah, it's unclear to me. I couldn't pick up on the replay or on live action if Burnsville read that play or if maybe they blitzed into it. Now, they ran motion to that side of the formation, and maybe Burnsville realized, hey, if they're running motion to this side of the formation, that's where we want to go. I don't know, but you're right. It absolutely wasn't going to get the job done.
Olin to kick it away for the Cats from his own end zone. Actually, they're going to fake it. And they've got a first down and more out across the 30. Talk about a riverboat gambler. Nick Johnson calling for the fake from his own 7-yard line, and Danko on the reception. First down, Wildcats.
Well, the way the Wildcat season has gone, Mike, good gosh. I mean, why not try it, right? I mean, why not do it? What a toss.
That was Sorensen.
What a pitch and catch.
I want to look at that again. Was that Sorensen with a throw, or was that?
I believe it was. I believe it was.
Wow. Danko wide open.
Yeah, Danko, well, kind of hope so.
Yeah. Wow, great call, Nick Johnson. So first down at their own 32 for the Wildcats. Let's see if that can spark something for the home team. And Gugino is going to be second and about 10. Good pressure again by the Burnsville defense. And again, Lewis in on the stop for Burnsville. Take a look at the replay once. Well, I thought we were going to have a replay there. The graphic showed replay, and then we saw the grass. So, yes, we are a grass field here in Wildcat country. Again, nice job by Burnsville. 1:21 and counting to go in the rapid third quarter. Gugino looking to air it out. Obviously some miscommunication there, and probably fortunate that ball did not land in the hands of a Burnsville player.
Yeah, absolutely. That time, both receivers from the outside. One, let's see here, it was Danko on the inside, and it was Oland on the outside, and they both went in. They both came down the field and went in at different depths. I have to think that Gugino thought that one of those guys was going to be going to the out.
Yep. So 3rd and 10 this time for the Wildcats. A lot of receiver options this time for the Wildcats. Burnsville showing blitz, but Johnson didn't come. Across the middle. First down, Wildcats. That's Robinson with another big catch.
It was a fine catch. It was a fine toss, but credit to the offensive line and the offensive backfield for Eagan. They picked up Gabe Johnson coming on a blitz, and they absolutely stood him up. You can maybe see that on the right side of your screen there. Gugino delivers this ball on pace. He's not going to hold on to the ball. He's not going to think about it. He just delivers the ball on pace. Robinson makes the catch, moves the sticks.
From the 43-yard line go the Wildcats on what could be the final play of quarter number 3. Gugino looking to air it out once again into double coverage, and that ball is caught down to the 20-yard line. Is that Olin? Yes, indeed it is. Isaac Olin down to the 20.
Well, Mike, I don't know what adjustments we've made on the sidelines. I can't tell you what we're doing up front, although I can tell you we're blocking pretty well for Gugino. But right now, keep feeding the ball to Isaac Olin because he was absolutely blanketed by 2 Burnsville defenders, even with the safety over the top. I mean, he had no business catching that football. I mean, you just got to take your hat off to Olin there for running the route, staying with it, understanding that ball's coming even if I'm double-teamed. And credit to Gugino, man. He dropped that in right in a basket.
Well, that is going to be the final play of quarter number 3. And I'll tell you what, Adam Chedecky, boy, that was great coverage there, number 20 for Burnsville. Bill.
There's nothing you can do.
Nope.
Sometimes when you're a defensive back or a defender, the offensive guy makes a great play. There's nothing you can do about it. And you just do the best you can. You make the tackle.
Well, we talked about volunteers. You don't have to be an athlete to be part of our team. Eagan TV needs volunteers to help us run cameras, make Wildcat sports broadcasts happen. Visit eagan-tv.com to sign up. And again, it's we've been covering soccer this year, both boys and girls. You've got obviously football. The winter's not too far behind. You'll be having both hockey teams. I know basketball's been covered in the past. So a lot of opportunities to help out in Wildcat country. And maybe speaking of some other teams, Eagan volleyball, still number 1 in the state, 17-0, 8-0 in conference. They beat Eastview 3-0 last night. And Tuesday night they played Lakefield North. lost the first 2 games, rallied to get the next 3. And North's the number 5 team in the state. So congrats to the volleyball team. Burnsville volleyball, not as much success this year. They're 7-14 overall. They've lost 7 of 9, and they are in the October Classic at Apple Valley this weekend. Gugino, Gavin that time, 31 with the ball. So 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Wildcats, and we've got a Burnsville player down, and that's number 7, Korolewski. He made the stop that time for the Burnsville Blaze. Let's take a look and see if we can see where it might have happened. Nope. No. We won't. Hopefully that's just a cramp or something there. But also some other sports going on. Girls soccer, the Wildcats are 7-6-3. Blaze are 6-7-3. Eagan beat Eastview 4-0 last night. And Burnsville lost 1-0 to Farmington. Boys soccer, should we just skip that one?
Well, the Eagan boys soccer team is obviously their record. They'd like that record to be a little bit different. They've played some teams tough. The Burnsville soccer team also is looking at a situation going, hey, we wish that we had a few of these games back. The last meeting between those 2 teams was last week, and Eagan did prevail in that game in a close-fought 2-1 victory. So, but both teams are setting up now for sections, and it's going to be a tough slog for both teams.
Yeah, both teams have actually 1-8 in conference play. The Wildcats have lost 4 straight, including 3-0 to Eastview last night. Burnsville's lost 5 straight, including 4 by shutout. They got beat 3-0 by Farmington. Tennis sections I saw started yesterday for Burnsville, and then they played again today. Wildcats started as well today. Did not hear a result yet. The big cross-country meet for the conference is going to be here at Eagan High School next Friday, October the 11th. So I'm sure good luck to the runners for both the Blaze and the Wildcats. And Eagan swimming, they've won 5 out of 6 dual meets this year, including a win over Lakeville North a couple nights back. So congratulations to them. And I'll tell you, looking ahead, I saw something on the Wildcat site today. They've got their annual Veterans Day Assembly on November 11th, 9 o'clock in the school gym. And I'll tell you, that is a very, very cool ceremony. You bring back some veterans, you honor them, and it's just an outstanding program put on at Eagan High School. Yeah, good to see coming off under his own power, Korolewski.
Well, if you're Eagan, it's 4-down territory. We got to score on this drive. We're not going to get many more chances inside. I mean, they're just outside the red zone technically, but in this area of the field, they need to do something that's going to create an opportunity here for them to play competitive football and get a chance to get back in this football game.
2nd and 9, early 4th quarter. Cats down by a 12-0 count. And sort of straight ahead. Ball. Did the ball pop out? Burnsville thinks it did. I thought it did initially. Indeed it did. Burnsville recovers the fumble. And the Cats, let's take a look at this. Let's see what happens. Get a better look here. Danko gets popped over there. Is that number 2 for Burnsville, I believe?
We didn't say with the replay quite long enough there, but I think Eagan was initially excited in saying that Call had fallen on that football. But this is, Mike, I mean, if you're an Eagan fan, like I said, this is the kind of luck you've had all season long, where you put together a couple of great passes, you move the football, and all of a sudden something bad like that happens.
I didn't get a chance to see who knocked that out. I wasn't sure. I thought it was 2, but that's Keegan Baldwin. But anyway, bottom line is Burnsville has the football on their own 22-yard line. And the way Burnsville's run the ball, this is one of those drives, if Eagan doesn't stop them early, this could easily go into 6-7 minutes and really eliminate any chance the Wildcats have of coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Burnsville doesn't even have to score here, Mike. I mean, if they burn 5 or 6 minutes of clock, and even if they never get past midfield, but they can burn 5 minutes of clock, that'll do what they have to. That'll be the goal, right? I mean, that will be the game effectively. And I'm sure the Blaze are thinking about the Blaze Burger. I mean, the Blaze Burger is back, along with the partnership of Burnsville High School, DECA, and Burger Jones. Check out the Blaze Burger. The burger's bun includes a Blaze branding and designed by the DECA students and features pepper jack cheese, jalapeno, bacon, egg, peanut butter, hot sauce, and includes fries for some reason, as if that isn't enough food already for you. I know I just talked over your touchdown call with respect to the play, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to make sure we got that in because the Blaze Burger sounds really good.
That does sound awful good. Burger Jones in Burnsville is where you go for that one.
And it's a fundraiser, so the
Absolutely.
Burnsville DECA crew is looking to raise several $100s to fund some of their activities. So if you're in Burnsville and at Burger Jones and you feel hungry and you want to give it a try, give it a try.
3rd and short upcoming for Burnsville. Straight ahead, Gregerson. Who else are you going to give it to? Give it to the big back, number 19, and that should be enough to move the sticks. And indeed it is. Out near the 34-yard line. Needed 1, got 3.
Well, the Wildcats have an opportunity here. They have an opportunity to get this football back and do something with it. They've just got to they got to make that stop now. I mean, I think they're in a point where with 9:42 left, I think they're at a point where they have to get a stop here on this series, Mike. Otherwise, as you say, Burnsville's going to bleed the clock.
Yep. Down to 9.5 to go. Yeah, Burnsville's taking plenty of time, and rightfully so if you're the Blaze. There's Volk. He falls forward to about the 37-yard line. Again, Zach Wallach among those in there for the Wildcats on the stop.
Now, important here. I know if you're a Wildcat defender, you're frustrated, you're angry. You know, you're like, we want to be in this game. We want to get this ball back. But it's important now to keep your cool, keep your head, not take any dumb penalties, a late hit or anything like that that's going to, or a face mask, anything like that that's going to give Burnsville a free first down.
Coach Nick Johnson there for the Wildcats, looking to get his first W of his head coaching career. As both these teams come in 0-5 tonight. There's Tompkins rolling. Gregerson grabs that one, and he's going to get the first down. Robinson there to help take him down, and did he get out of bounds? He does, so the clock will stop at least. But also over there was Sorensen on the coverage for the Eagan Wildcats. But nice drawn-up play there by Tompkins and the Blaze.
Well, it's a play they've run a couple of times already tonight, Mike, and it hasn't worked for them. That time, when they needed it, when they wanted it, it was there for them. And credit to Burnsville for executing that. Unfortunately, for Eagan, they had an opportunity to pressure Tompkins, and they just didn't quite get there.
Fresh set of downs from the 45, just over 8 minutes to go. Dare we say in regulation? We'll try to be some optimism there for the Eagan faithful. Straight ahead, Volk. Nice pickup on first down. That's 9 yards by the senior halfback for the Blaze. You know, the American League playoffs have started tonight. Right now, the Eagan defense is going to need a Bomba-like performance, shall we say?
Yeah. Well, they might have to score themselves. I mean, the Eagan defense here might have to force a fumble and score themselves. If you're Burnsville, I don't think there was necessarily any kind of improper play there or tackle by Eagan, but Volk came up limping off that pile.
Yep.
Or off that tackle, and you kind of hope that he's all right. And,
he's still in there.
Yeah, he's still in. He's
the deep back. Gregerson up front. Tompkins still your quarterback, and Tompkins looking to air it out. Going for it all. Oh, nearly caught downfield by Rocheleau. And here's the reaction right there. That tells you all you got to know about that play. And he hangs on to that football. It's hello end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And on 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great call. What a great call. That time, Tompkins had all the time in the world. He could sit back there and pick it out, and he delivered a ball that wasn't a bad ball at all. And I'm sure Rocheleau wants that. I mean, when he watches the highlight or the game film tomorrow, he'll definitely be wanting that one back.
So do you just give it to Gregerson here when you need
Absolutely
3rd and short?
There he is.
And where are they going to mark him?
Well.
They're going to give him progress. So sticks are going to move. First down, Burnsville Blaze.
Yeah, excellent second effort there. I mean, they stayed with it. Now, in fairness, they marked him where his initial progress was stopped, and then they blew the whistle, and then he fell forward. So he fell another yard forward, but it was still plenty for the first down. If Burnsville can, and again and we just lost the scoreboard, but there was 6:45. There was 6:45 left.
There's the clock counting down. On our screen now we've got an official timeout. There we go. All right.
But now that the scoreboard's back on, I mean, if Burnsville gets to the first down, it's over. I mean, the game's over because Eagan's just not going to have the time to come back into this football game.
Right.
But they need a turnover. They need a big play right now by this defense.
Showing blitz. And look out. I would call that almost the house. Mayan Hodges, number 3, I believe, takes it to the 3. That's a 41-yard run. I think Hodges thought he had it.
I think Hodges thought he had it as well. He certainly gave it a great effort, and but you count 1, 2. I mean, there's a handful of missed tackles not too far down off line of scrimmage, Mike. And when this defense has struggled, it has struggled by not making the tackle when it has the chance, or taking, in that case, candidly, a bad angle. There were a couple of bad angles there that that are going to cost the team when you're faced with this situation.
Straight ahead. And he didn't get the 3 last time he got it there. Touchdown, Burnsville. 18-0 Blaze. Hodges with the score. That drive was 10 plays, 78 yards. Took more than, looks like about 5:23 off the clock. And that should pretty much seal up this one. Looks like Burnsville is going to get their first win of the year by ruining the Wildcat homecoming. 56, Carlos Hernandez in for the PAT. Rocheleau the holder. And okay, we know something Burnsville is going to be working on in the upcoming because that's 0 for 3 on the PATs. Can't remember the second one if they
went for 2 on the second
that's
one,
right.
but still 0 for 2.
0 for 2. Oh, what do we
0 for
got
3
here?
now.
We do have a flag on the field, and let's see what this is going to be all about.
I wonder if it's offsetting penalties since the referee doesn't have a hat.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Players are going to be happy. We couldn't hear the numbers, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a particularly. I mean, I'm sure the coaches on tomorrow when they're watching the film will look at that and they'll pick out the culprits and they'll make sure that those guys understand that whatever they did, and clearly they must have done something. Whatever they did was not acceptable behavior.
So hey, you got an idea for a TV show? You can volunteer at ETV and turn it into a reality. Sign up to be part of the team at Eagan-TV.com, as you see right there on the bottom of your television screen. Again, no experience required.
Well, do you think we could do it? Do you think we could do a pilot about a 40-plus-year-old former offensive lineman that comes out of the booth and gets to play high school football again on a Friday night?
There's probably been a movie about that. And I noticed the Burnsville fans are all holding up their phones over there while they were. Of course, as soon as I say that, a bunch of them go off. But,
of course.
Like I said, whiteout was the theme for the Burnsville High School student section tonight. And we've mentioned a couple times, this is now the lights are gone, but it's still a whiteout. So, obviously, they're happy on that side. Looks like they're going to be a victorious drive back down Diffley Road to Highway 13. And, what is it, a dozen stoplights later, we're back at Burnsville High School. And Cats from the 30. Cats will start at about their 35-yard line. Again, we mentioned this is a joint broadcast between Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Television. And obviously, Nathan and I, you hear us a lot, but there's so many people behind the scenes that make this happen. Josh Sibley, Aaron Thomas, Haley Boston, Nick Mudd, Dalton Gruber, Brad Lester, all part of the ETV crew. As well, that's a little bit of a pop there on Robinson. But also coming over from Burnsville, helping us out tonight, making this a nice joint production. Jane Kim, Tim Shingen, Jay Golden, and Gary Howarder. Again, Gary, I apologize if I'm messing up your name. But bottom line, great to have the Burnsville folks over here helping us out. And hopefully future years when Eagan gets to play back at Burnsville, they'll have some of the Eagan crew over there helping out as well. And, it's funny, these teams have not played since October of 2016. For some reason, that's just the way the schedule has worked out. Of course, that was a 35-0 Burnsville win over the Wildcats. Assuming Burnsville hangs on tonight as the Cats going to throw that one. Nice catch on the sideline. Which coach was that? But it was from their own 37, by the way. Hey, the best catch of the night for the Wildcats. I'll check my coach's bio photos there. Anyway, I was going to say, Burnsville, assuming they hang on tonight, this will be their 4th straight win against the Wildcats. Last Wildcat win, September 6th, 2013. They won 20-7 here in Wildcat country. Evans goes in motion. Gugino looking to air it out once again. Far side got Evans. Yeah, he'll get out of bounds. Minimal pickup.
I think if you're an Eagan Wildcat player, if you're a coach, you obviously are frustrated, and you're obviously, looking at this result, saying, I think with a few different bounces, I think with maybe a penalty here or there that gets to where we needed to get to. I think we could have a different result here, maybe even be in this football game. And right now, I think Eagan really what Eagan needs to do is just go down the field and try to get some points on the board.
3rd and 5 for the Cats. 5.5 to go in this one. Gugino, he'll step it up. Nice spin move, and he gets out near midfield. Tackled down there by number 52 for the Burnsville Blaze. That's Bradley Bruja. By the way, I'm looking at the Wildcat coaching staff. Michael Melville with that catch. Nice catch on the sideline by Melville. Speaking of the coaches, I got to mention this because I saw it come across the Twitter feed today. Big pep fest here in Wildcat country, homecoming. As you look at the run there again by Gugino, that's going to be a pickup of, about 12, I think. Actually, no, they were out of the 42. Yeah, so about a 7-yard gain. But anyway, Coach Dale, we got a penalty on the Wildcats.
Yeah, we had holding downfield, Mike. Looks like holding against Wildcats, but it was from the spot of the foul, so it's not going to be quite a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be down will be replayed again. It looks like about 3rd down and about 17.
Okay, so back to the Pep Fest story.
Sorry.
No, hey, it's 18-0. Dale Comer, the Wildcat defensive coordinator, was in the finals of the world-famous World Championship Rock, Paper, Scissors contest. Comer comes in. It looks like 1980s WWE. He walks in. He's got the hat going, the shades. He's got his posse of, looks like some of the football players out there. Comer, in the finals, beats Michael Murphy, Wildcat defender, in the Rock, Paper, Scissors challenge. Look at Gugino once again. Nice move. What a run on that far. That wasn't Gugino. Check that. That was Evans.
Absolutely.
My bad. But yeah, Joan Evans. What a run there by Evans. From the 30 out to the Burnsville side of midfield. But yeah, congratulations, Coach Comer, on the big win in the Rock, Paper, Scissors championship. And that play right there we would have seen earlier was Evans slipping.
Yeah.
And just a nice job of keeping his feet. 22-yard run on that play. 1st down at the 48 of the Burnsville Blaze. Gugino, near side, Williams. And he'll get downside the 40. See where they mark him out of bounds. Is going to be, looks like at the 40. That'll be an 8-yard pickup. I do like that Eagan's been able to have some success throwing the ball tonight. We haven't seen much of that this year, and part of it's due to time, but the O-line has been giving Gugino much more time too.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me like Burnsville they're rushing only the 4. They're not bringing extra pressure, and it seems like something our offensive line is able to handle at this point, although candidly now that looks like they got five in tight here.
Gino looking to throw. Good pressure by the Blaze, and they got him back near midfield, and now they're going to whistle him down. Trying to see first man in for Burnsville. I thought was number 20, Adam Chadecki.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. Good eyes.
Chadecki. Check that.
No, but that's a situation where Burnsville had two outside linebackers or two outside stand-up defensive ends come in, and both hard. Once they saw the pass, they read pass, they were coming hell-bent for election. Need to get Gino to step up into the pocket there. I know that's a challenge for any young quarterback, but he needs to step up and not try to run outside those defensive ends.
Gugino now he'll step up, and he gets upended after a minimal pickup. Atkinson finished him off, but I believe first man in for Burnsville is actually number 17, Joel Jobert. So it's going to be 4th and 12 with 3:40 and counting in this one, and the Cats are definitely going to go for it. I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, like I said, I was talking to Gugino just briefly after practice last night, and you could see the pride he has in the way he plays, the pride in the way he wants his team to play, and how much this just really hurts him.
Yeah, it's tough. There's no question about that.
It's a very character-building season for these Eagan Wildcats. On 4th and 9. Gugino too high across the middle going for Robinson. Picked off by Burnsville's number 22. That's Jacob Carlson. Is that the third turnover, I believe, tonight for the Wildcats?
Yep. 2 interceptions and a fumble. Absolutely. And this time, there was decent protection. I think that time, that was interesting. That they were throwing the ball shorter to Robinson. Robinson was going to have to make 3 or 4 yards on his feet, on his legs by himself. And I'm interested about running that short, that pattern that short, because again, even if he catches the ball, he's got 2 guys on him, and he still has to somehow get 4 more yards. But that being said, that's been that kind of night for the Eagan Wildcats.
Burnsville, they've got a few backups in, including their quarterback number 16 is now Blake Schmeling, the junior quarterback. Good chance for Coach Wartness to clear the bench a little bit, let some other guys get in. Again, and we've got a injured Burnsville player, which is really probably the last thing you want to see in a game like this, that the result is all but official. By the way, just kind of checking some scores from around the area right now. Edina leads Eden Prairie 21-14 with 3.5 minutes to go. So Eden Prairie got beat by Wayzata last week, who will be at Burnsville on the 16th. And we've also Lakeville South leads Lakeville North 20-12. I don't know how much time is left in that one. Just kind of scrolling through the feeds here a little bit. And Rosemont, they're in a good one with Champlin Park down at Irish Stadium. 17-14 Rebels in the fourth quarter there. A couple of top 10 teams going at it as well. And Burnsville, they'll just keep this one on the ground. There's Volk once again. Minimal pickup. Out to the 30. Might have got one. We have a timeout taken. Yep. Not sure. We got one of the Wildcat coaches out on the field, I think. Is that NJ? I assume it is. Timeout taken. Eagan. There we go. The official had to turn around and face the right way. I want 2:38 on the clock, so we'll get that reset. And it's going to be 3rd and long for Burnsville. Another thing we've mentioned it before, but the Eagan play, got one more weekend, Friday and Saturday, October 11th and 12th. Here at Eagan High School. Tickets available right 1 hour before each performance, or swing by the box office and get them. I think We Are Eagan. Take a look at that press box, folks. It's not going to be here in about a month. We understand that thing's coming down and going to be replaced by something just a little bit bigger.
Just a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer. If anybody has, this press box has been venerable. There was a question on the very first game that Eagan played on this field against Minnetonka in years and years and eons ago. There was a question as to whether it would be done on time. Yep. Because you can't. Apparently, there's a rule you can't have a football game without a press box. I'm not sure why that is, but there at that time there was a rule about it. There was some stress at Eagan about it, but it got done.
3rd and 7 for Burnsville as we get back to modern day football. And Cats, Wallach thinks about blitzing. He's coming. Fumble, ball is on the ground. Who's got it? And nobody really pointing one way or the other. Let's see what the officials have to say. They say, Eagan says they have it. You see Eagan still says they have it. Look at Cifuentes there.
And they do.
They do have it. Yeah, just a miscue on the snap that time as Schmeling couldn't quite get the grasp on the football from his center. So 2:17 to go. Cats with an opportunity to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, let's see Eagan get into the end zone. I mean, that would be. I mean, for all the things that have happened tonight, all the crazy bounces, the calls or non-calls, the turnovers, the challenges. Just to get in the end zone, get a score, and maybe give those pyrotechnic guys a chance to shoot off a couple of fireworks.
Yeah, you saw Nick Johnson there on the Eagan sideline. Coach NJ looking to get some positivity going. And again, he was telling me the problem he's seen with the Cats the last couple of weeks is these kids are coming off the field, and you can see it in their eyes that they're just dejected and beaten down already. But, that'll do it when you lose 40-0 to Anoka, 42-0 down at Rosemount. And unfortunately for the Cats, there's been too many scores that are big like that this year. And it's just a growing season.
Yeah, it gets lopsided really, really quick, and unfortunately that's what happens when that's what happens when you're still at this point of a building program is you go down 7-0. Well, all of a sudden now you go 3 and out. Now it's you don't move the ball, and now it's they get the good field position. How many times have we talked this year about Eagan giving good field position to their opponents? Then suddenly it's 14, and then you turn over the ball. Now it's 21, and all of a sudden it gets crazy really fast, and that's just not something that most programs you can't recover from that stuff. You just try to limit the damage, and ultimately I think what happens here, the way this turns around is Eagan's numbers increase.
Yep.
The strength and size of the players increase. The quality of the players gets better because you have more of them. Right, with numbers you tend to get better quality, and you how many guys do we have playing both ways right now? We got a handful of guys playing both ways.
Right.
In South Suburban football, that shouldn't happen.
Right.
At
the 6, anywhere at the 6A level
that's
for that matter.
That's right. That's right.
Not just South Suburban, but should mention the 9A team for the Wildcats. They beat Burnsville 20-8 this week, and intended for Owen on the reception. I thought there might have been a flag forthcoming anyway. But the 9B team, they beat Rosemount 14-8 the other day. So I understand those teams are having some success.
They absolutely are. They're winning football games at the 9A and 9B level, and so I'd like to see those guys get older and stay with the program.
First and 10 from the 18 with 2 minutes to go. Cats looking to get rid of that goose egg. Gino, long count. Gino looking. It's going to come near side. Safety valve. That's Danko. Or check that. Evans down to about the 10. We've got a flag on the play, however.
What I'm curious about, I'm trying to figure out if this is a penalty on the offense or defense. It was dropped by the official on the near sideline. Trying to tell what the penalty would have been. Maybe an illegal motion.
More than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty in the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Okay, so we had
illegal formation.
Illegal formation, so that's going to move us back, I think, 5 yards, and we're going to get first down over again.
Wow. Update from Lakeville North High School. Lakeville South up 27-12 with 7 minutes to go. How about that for Lakeville South going into North, potentially beating your crosstown rival, the number 1 team in the state. And there's a throw for the Wildcats far side. Hook and ladder. There's good Gino Gavin down to the 11. Nice pick up at 12. You know what? The Cats were working on that very play yesterday at the end of practice.
But, might as well use it, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
We're inside the red zone. We've got 1:27 left. We've got 2 timeouts. Let's see if we can punch this thing in.
Cats have just 7 points this year in 5 games coming in. Been shut out 8 of their last 9 dating back to last season. So let's, it'd be great to see the Wildcats get rewarded for, playing a better game tonight. Much better game. I think you've seen a little more balance in the offense, if not tilting to the passing side.
Yeah, the Eagan Wildcats are definitely on offense, having much more success throwing the football tonight than they have been or did have running the football. And obviously the score being what it is, they're going to be throwing the football more, trying to score more quickly. But ultimately, there's no reason to hand this ball off at this point anymore unless you can run some sort of draw or something like that where you think you're going to catch them napping.
$1:23 to go in this one. Gugino, air into the corner. Oland! Oh, off his fingertips. Good coverage back there by Burnsville.
But I like the call, though.
Yep.
You watch Olin. Maybe Olin might be coming right into your living room here. Yep, he certainly is. Now Gugino put some air under it. He just needed another half second of air, and then Olin would have run that one down. But you do have that being said. I take that back. There it is. It's 4th down and 3. They need 3 yards. Whatever your best 4-yard play is, that's what Eagan needs to run here. They have 2 timeouts. You don't have to worry about going to the end zone. Just get the first down at this point. Don't worry about trying to get into the end zone. Just get a first down.
Yeah, it was Simmons with his coverage there for the Blaze. 4th and 3. Can the Cats at least get a fresh set of downs? Gugino scramble, eludes a tackle. Down to the 6-yard line, maybe the 7. You know what? That's going to move the sticks for the Wildcats. Finished off by Nathan Lee, but what a nice run there by the Eagan quarterback, Gugino.
That's 1st and goal. Now running, it looks like on the 7-yard line. Gugino is under center. Excellent play by Gugino.
And he'll spike it real quick.
Now I'm curious. I'm dumb question, Mike. We've got 2 timeouts. Instead of spiking the ball and giving away first down on 1st and goal, why not call the timeout?
Well, here's the thing. My thought is, why don't you get up to the line and just run it?
Or you can do that too.
Run the play.
Sure.
Now you're giving Burnsville time to set. I see it both ways.
Yeah.
But I'm more inclined to just get up there and do it. So we got 1:04 to go. By the way, if you like this game so much you want to see it again, hey, check it out anytime you want. Just go to EaganTV-TV.com to watch any game, anytime, and check out any other great programs on ETV. All available for on-demand viewing. 64 seconds left in this one. Cats looking to get on the board. Gugino to the corner, and Simmons on the coverage, and we've got a flag. Are they going to get Simmons on interference? Olin, the intended target.
The only thing Simmons didn't do there,
was
turn his head. Right. I mean, well, I think if we see a replay, I think you're going to see to the left of your screen here, he's on top of Olin pretty hard. Yeah, he's all over him. Now, that being said, play him tight and see if they'll call it, right? I mean, make Olin make the play, but I think that's going to be pass interference. That's probably not a bad call. Two different flags from 2 different officials came sailing in, so there wasn't a lot of question there. Now what that does is it creates a situation where the Eagan now is, it's 1st and goal now, or 2nd and goal now from the 3-yard line.
Right. And let's give Olin credit. He forced the interference call. Just a nice route by Olin, who's lining up at the tight end spot on the left side. Gugino, he's going to roll, runs into his own man. Pitch, Evans, he slips up. Might have got tripped up on that far side as well. Coming up to make the play for Burnsville, I believe, was Nathan Lee, 32. Clock is stopped with 53.5 seconds to go as the Cats took a timeout. Yeah, it was up on that far side. Yeah, it looked like Lee came in for Burnsville. So we mentioned the Blaze. They're home next Friday night, October 11th. Rosemont Irish coming to town, and they finish their regular season at home on Wednesday the 16th against the Wayzata Trojans, who could move up to the number 1 team in the state if South hangs on to beat North tonight. Meanwhile, the Eagan Wildcats, they're at Eastview, always a big rivalry game, on October 11th. Just saw on the Twitter feed, Eastview leads Farmington late 21-20. The Wildcats, Lakeville South is here on the 16th to wrap things up. As you look at it, there's the Wildcats schedule. All those games scheduled to be on ETV. I know Burnsville is going to have the truck next week for the Rosemount Tilt. So we'll be doing a single camera shoot for the Eagan Wildcats from Eastview High School. At least that's the plan. Technology willing, of course. On the YouTube channel only, I have been updated. Burnsville will be live on channel 14 over there in the 952 area. Cats, 3rd and goal from the 3. 53.5 seconds to go. Gino, look out. Good pressure by the Blaze. Into the corner. Robinson, I thought, was held back there, but no flag. And I don't know if they're going to say that was uncatchable.
Well, it's always uncatchable when you grab the receiver and tackle him. But yeah, I mean, look, there's a reason that a lot of referees want you to tuck in your jerseys, and that's because they often will see the jersey pulls and look at the top left of your screen there.
Comes bursting through. Number 11 for Burnsville, Carter Odegaard.
Yeah, great pressure by Odegaard that time. I mean, to be fair, look, Burnsville knows that Eagan's going to be throwing the football, and right now it's 4th and goal, 3-yard line. Got to get on the board. This is it. Any chance Eagan runs the football here?
Timeout, by the way. They're going to talk about it. I mean, there's always a chance.
I mean, could you run the football here? Can you get 3 yards?
I mean, I don't know what else Nick Johnson has up his sleeve in terms of trick plays. I mean, we saw the go for it on the punt from your own end zone, basically, and a couple other plays. Why not? Hey, try something. I mean, I like I said, I saw practice a little bit yesterday, and they were working on some trick plays. And I mean, hey, what do you got to lose?
Well, you have nothing to lose. I'm thinking, given the vibe here in the second half is throwing the football for Eagan, right? So I wonder if you go against that now and you just say, you know what, we're gonna run this ball right down your throat. We're gonna stick it in and get 3 yards because we're gonna line up. They're gonna expect us to throw the ball. We're gonna give it to our best running back, hard dive over our best offensive lineman, and get a good push on a couple of double teams and just push our way into the end zone. Maybe that's the play.
Yep. It is homecoming 2019 here at Eagan High School, and the Burnsville students, they had their homecoming a week ago, and it was a loss to Farmington for their squad, but looks like their team is going to come over and ruin the Wildcats' homecoming here in 2019. But question is, can the Burnsville defense pitch the shutout? 4th and 3. You see the time remaining, just 48.5 seconds. Yeah, do you call Gugino on a keeper there? I mean, look at that gap over that right guard. Yeah, they're going to throw Gugino. Touchdown, 6 points. Eagan, Colby Sorensen. Oh, here we go. Hollywood Pyrotechnics shooting them off. Look at that. The band is still here. They knew something was coming. Playing that school fight song.
And great of them to be here. Great of them to be part of this community celebration. Again, this isn't just a football game. It's a community celebration. The Wildcats are going to land and go for 2 because why not?
Why not? Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, but it'll be fun to gives them something to celebrate, something to watch that game film, knowing hey, something good's going to happen here at the end.
Absolutely. Gino. And looks like he did get in on the far side.
Absolutely.
Is that Olin again? No.
Sorensen?
No, Evans.
John Evans.
Number 8.
Yep.
There's the touchdown pass. Gugino. Look at that job by Sorensen. Just turn, stop, wide open. And I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that other receiver. That's Olin that came down. He had 2 guys on him. And he cut to the inside. Those 2 defenders watched him. Sorensen wide open. Touchdown, Wildcats. And I'll tell you, I'm very happy for Sorensen. Here's a kid, played both ways a lot this year. Started in the backfield, switched over to primarily defense. Probably one of the better players on the squad this year. And I think for these seniors, it's homecoming. It's your last homecoming you're going to have.
That's right.
And you know what? 8 looks a lot better than 0 on that scoreboard.
Absolutely. It makes
a loss is a loss, but
it's going to make getting up tomorrow morning just a little bit easier on everybody. The aches and pains won't be quite as achy and painy tomorrow. And, we're going to see, because we are where we are and what's going on, the Cats are going to practice their onside kick here and see if they can get
not?
one back. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let's do that. Let's do that and see what happens. And you never know what could happen. And,
Right.
and you know, 2 touchdowns in the last minute would be really hilarious, wouldn't it?
And you know what? This is also a good practice, though, for Burnsville. You got
Absolutely.
your hands team out there.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget that as well. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we're the Eagan announcers, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's give Burnsville a little pooch kick and
Go down. There you go.
Yeah.
Coaches are always screaming, just go, fall down, catch the ball and fall down.
Yeah, Noah Abbott with that grab there for the Burnsville Blaze, who are going to leave Wildcat country most likely with an 18-8 win. I would think Burnsville will just line up victory formation. And congratulations, Vince Varpness and the entire – here's Coach
Free kick
Varpness and the entire Burnsville football program getting
on
that.
one side of the kicker. Ball will be 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's why you work on it. Penalty on the Wildcats. But, yeah, congratulations, Coach Varpness. Burnsville Blaze going to get their first win of the year. 18 points may not win you a lot of games, but it's enough tonight.
It is enough tonight. And, you know, the way that, you know, candidly, you know, the way the Eagan offense is played, 18 points usually is going to do the trick. You know, but I will say this, I like what I've seen in the Eagan offense here in the second half with respect to the balance that it did have, the ability to throw the football. And I think we've discovered a scenario here. And I think we've seen enough of the Eagan offense here this season to know, look, if they block, if they can protect Gugino and he gets the ball off quickly and on rhythm, he can be successful.
Yeah.
And if he has to sit there and figure it out and things like, you know, if he's got to make something, roll out, he's got to get flushed from the pocket, things like that, that's where we run into trouble. But if we can just keep him throwing on rhythm, block for him and throw him on rhythm, he can move the football.
Tompkins back in to presumably take a victory kneel, and there it is. And a whiteout for the Burnsville student section is going to be a win, or they're here to see a win by the boys in white. 18-8 is going to be your final as the final 23 seconds tick off. Again, special thanks to everybody that helped put this one together. A joint venture between the folks at Eagan TV, the folks at Burnsville Community Television. Great when we can work together like that. And it's just great to know. I know hockey last year, they did a joint broadcast as well. And, it's two communities that I know they both support their community television very well. And it's just great we could all join together and work as one.
Absolutely. I also want to say something. I mean, it's a football game. You want to beat your opponent. And once the game's over, though, and we've seen this all through the game, both sides being real, good sports with each other, helping each other off the turf, patting each other on the back. And there was some legitimate, I suspect, condolences and attaboys out there because, these are two teams and two programs that have struggled this year. And they know how tough it is to lose football games. And so when they, it means something more when your opponent has struggled like you've struggled. It means something when they tell you to keep your chin up.
Yeah. So congratulations, like we said, Coach Varpness and the Blaze. They're heading back to Burnsville, their first win of the year. Coach Johnson and the Wildcats going to fall to 0-6 on this season, and opportunity for the win next week against arch rival Eastview. Again, that'll be on the ETV YouTube channel. Burnsville will be live on the air. They've got the Rosemont Irish coming to town, so good luck to the Blaze. So on behalf of everybody on the ETV crew, the BCTV crew, we're probably missing somebody, but thanks to everybody that's helped out tonight. He's Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. We say thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time for both Wildcat football on ETV and Burnsville football on BCTV. Good night.
they can. Because every 10 years, the census gives us that power. You can shape your future by responding to the 2020 census. Where do we need new roads to make our lives easier? Where will new school programs help our children thrive? Where could a new health clinic benefit neighborhoods? The 2020 census will inform the